Evil thrives in darkness. It recoils when exposed, twists when confronted, and retaliates when it feels cornered. The manipulator does not seek truth, they seek control. They weave illusions, distort perceptions, and turn clarity into confusion. But what if you could rise above their deception? What if you could maintain your power, standing firm against their tactics? That is the essence of Stoicism. Strength in the face of adversity, clarity in the midst of deception, and unwavering resolve in a world designed to test you. The first sign of manipulation is denial. They will refute everything. They will reject your reality and insist on their own. Even when caught in the act, they will twist the narrative, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. They will claim you misunderstood, misinterpreted, or overreacted. This is not an accident, it is a calculated move. Gaslighting is their weapon, and self-doubt is their goal. But the Stoic mind is immune to such distortions. As Epictetus taught, it is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Hold fast to the truth, document reality, write it down. Ground yourself in facts, not their manufactured illusions. Your mind is your fortress. Defend it. When denial fails, they attack your character. If they cannot control you, they will control how others perceive you. Lies, rumors, half-truths, each one designed to isolate you, to turn allies into skeptics, and to shake your confidence. They want you to question your worth. But Marcus Aurelius reminds use, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let your integrity be your shield. When slander comes, meet it with silence. Let your actions speak louder than their words. Time reveals all falsehoods. The strong do not chase approval, they embody it. Isolation is their next move. They know that strength is found in numbers, so they work to sever your connections. They will whisper, manipulate, and cast shadows on your relationships. They seek to make you feel alone, vulnerable, easier to control. But Seneca reminds use, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Stand by those who value truth. Do not allow a manipulator to drive a wedge between you and those who uplift you. True bonds withstand deceit. Cultivate deep connections, and deception will lose its grip. When all else fails, they will shift tactics. They will flood you with affection, suddenly warm, suddenly considerate. They will apologize, make promises, and feign remorse. This is not change, this is strategy. Love bombing is a form of control, an attempt to reel you back in. But Stoicism teaches us to see beyond appearances. Do not be swayed by grand gestures. Real change is steady, consistent, and proven through time. As Epictetus advised, do not be deceived by the first impressions. Observe actions, not words. Keep your boundaries firm. True respect is earned, not manipulated. And then they will play the victim. They will twist the story so they are the one wrong, the one suffering. They will cry injustice, paint you as the oppressor, and seek sympathy from those around them. This is the ultimate deflection, a desperate bid to escape accountability. But do not be drawn into their drama. Seneca reminds us, it is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence. Resist the urge to justify yourself. Truth stands on its own. Do not fight for an audience that is willing to be deceived. Those who seek truth will see it. When all else fails, they may disappear. This may seem like a victory, but be wary. A retreat is not a surrender. It is a recalibration. They are watching, waiting, looking for a new angle, a new weakness. They will return armed with different tactics. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Do not let your guard down. Strength is not just in action but in vigilance. Keep your defenses sharp. Manipulation does not end because they are gone. It ends because you are unshakable." Finally, when desperation sets in, they will escalate. The mask will drop and aggression will rise. Verbal assaults, intimidation, threats. Anything to break your composure, to make you react. But Seneca reminds you, the best remedy for anger is delay. Do not engage in their chaos. Hold your ground. Keep your peace. Their anger is their weakness, not yours. When they scream, meet them with silence. When they push, refuse to be moved. There is no greater power than an unshaken mind in the face of fury. A manipulator's greatest fear is exposure. They rely on your confusion, your self-doubt, your need for validation. Strip them of these tools, and they are powerless. The Stoic remains steadfast, rooted in principle, governed by reason and untouched by deceit. Do not engage in their games. Do not bend to their will. Hold fast to the truth, and you will emerge untouchable. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A rock is thrown in the air. It loses nothing by coming down, gained nothing by going up." Your worth is not dictated by their perception. It is dictated by your integrity, your wisdom, your power. Stand firm, observe, rise above. You are beyond their reach. The world does not bow to weakness, nor does it cater to those who seek validation through the approval of others. Power belongs to those who understand its nature, those who wield it with precision and strategy. To navigate a world steeped in manipulation, one must cultivate an unwavering mind, unshaken by external forces. Strength is not measured by brute force, but by the ability to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. The manipulator thrives on exploiting the insecurities of the weak. They weave illusions, casting doubt into the minds of those who hesitate. But the Stoic mind is immune to their tactics. It sees through deception, recognizing that the only truth worth acknowledging is the one that remains unshaken by outside influence. A man of wisdom does not react impulsively. He observes, calculates, and only then decides upon a course of action. True power is mastery over oneself. Emotions, when left unchecked, become chains that bind the mind, rendering it susceptible to external control. The manipulator seeks to unearth those emotions, to provoke reactions that can be used as leverage. But the Stoic remains detached, refusing to offer his adversary a single foothold. He understands that anger, fear, and despair are but fleeting states of the mind, and by mastering them, he denies his opponent the satisfaction of control. Words are the weapons of the manipulator, sharpened by deceit and wielded with precision. They craft narratives designed to erode confidence, to make one question their own reality. But the Stoic is not so easily swayed. He knows that perception is a fragile construct, and he does not allow his sense of self to be dictated by the whims of others. His mind is fortified, his resolve unyielding. The power dynamic shifts when one refuses to engage in the manipulator's game. They expect reactions, emotional responses that validate their control. When met with silence, with an impassive gaze that betrays no weakness, their confidence falters. The Stoic man does not waste words in defending himself against baseless accusations. He lets his actions speak, for truth needs no elaborate justification. To thrive in a world of deception, one must embrace the philosophy of control over one's thoughts, emotions, and reactions. When one ceases to be an easy target, the manipulators seek easier prey. The strong do not chase validation, nor do they succumb to the influence of those who lack integrity. They stand resolute, their power drawn not from fleeting perceptions, but from the unshakable foundation of self-mastery. Victory is not achieved through brute confrontation, but through the quiet assertion of dominance. The Stoic understands that the greatest triumph is not in overpowering one's adversaries, but in rendering their tactics useless. The manipulator, when faced with an opponent immune to their schemes, loses their edge. The game they seek to play dissolves before their eyes, for their power has no hold over one who refuses to be moved. Let this be the guiding principle. The only true power lies within. The external world is chaotic, unpredictable, But the inner world can be fortified beyond measure. Those who master themselves will never be mastered by others. The manipulator's influence is but an illusion, one that crumbles in the presence of unwavering strength. It is not through confrontation that one asserts dominance, but through the silent, undeniable presence of an unshakable will. The manipulation of perception is one of the most potent tools wielded by those who seek to control others. They thrive on illusions, shaping realities to fit their narratives, bending the will of those who are too distracted or too weak to resist. Yet, true strength is found not in the ability to deceive, but in the ability to see through deception. A Stoic mind does not succumb to the whims of external forces. It remains steadfast, unshaken by the tides of manipulation. Power lies in clarity, in the unwavering grip on truth despite the fog of deceit that surrounds you. Evil knows no bounds when its authority is threatened. It will resort to new levels of psychological warfare, constructing elaborate webs of confusion and doubt. The mind that is unprepared will falter, but the mind fortified by reason will remain indomitable. Every act of manipulation is an attempt to wrest control from your grasp, a subtle coercion designed to weaken your resolve. But the Stoic individual recognizes these ploys and renders them ineffective by refusing to participate in the game. The only true power that others hold over you is the power you allow them to have. The manipulator's tactics are varied yet predictable. They will distort reality, presenting a world in which they are the victim, in which their actions are justified, and in which you are the villain. This is not an accident. It is a deliberate strategy meant to break your confidence, to force you into submission through guilt and confusion. The Stoic mind, however, does not bend to such tactics. It sees beyond the theatrics, recognizing the desperate attempts of a weak spirit trying to mask its own inadequacies. You are not responsible for their perception of you. You are responsible only for your own integrity. Strength is not in aggression, it is in composure. The greatest display of power is the refusal to react impulsively, the ability to remain calm when faced with provocation. The manipulator seeks to drag you into their chaos, to dictate the terms of engagement, to turn your emotions into a weapon against you. But the Stoic individual does not engage in battles of impulse. They operate on a plane above the fray. They do not waste energy proving their worth to those who seek to diminish them. Their worth is inherent, unshaken by external validation or condemnation. Those who wield manipulation as a weapon fear one thing above all: indifference. They thrive on eliciting reactions, on forcing you into a position where they can control the narrative. But when you refuse to engage, when you meet their provocations with unshackable calm, their power dissolves. They are left scrambling, desperate to regain footing in a battle they have already lost. The most powerful response is no response at all. The moment you detach yourself from their game is the moment you reclaim control. A Stoic does not waste time lamenting the nature of the world. They simply adapt. They understand that manipulation will always exist, that deception will always be employed by those too weak to stand on their own merits. But rather than fear these realities, they prepare for them. They refine their discernment, sharpen their awareness, and cultivate an inner strength that no external force can penetrate. In doing so, they render the manipulator powerless, stripping them of their ability to control, influence, or deceive. True power is not found in domination, but in the ability to remain untouchable. The mind is the last stronghold of freedom. No external force can claim it unless you allow it. A Stoic does not surrender their mind to the schemes of manipulators. They fortify it with reason, with discipline, with an unyielding commitment to the truth. The world may be full of those who seek to deceive, to control, to erode the will of others. but none of them hold dominion over the individual who has mastered themselves. Your power is yours alone, and no one can take it from you unless you hand it over willingly.